If you've ever wondered how to get started with Amazon wholesale, this video is for you. Now, if you're already an Amazon online arbitrage seller, you probably already know that the platform is changing. Now, I'm not trying to sound doomsday and not telling you to alarm the bells and just quit, because OA is definitely not dead. There's still thousands and thousands of really good products that you can buy and make a profit on doing online arbitrage. But good business owners know how to stay ahead of the curve, and a really good way to do that is start dipping your toes into some Amazon wholesale. For the past couple months, I've done exactly that. I've been dipping my toes into wholesale, and I've actually already opened my first 2 accounts. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the exact method I use to open my first wholesale accounts. And spoiler alert, it doesn't require a massive budget. You don't need a warehouse or any special connections. I'm going to show you the exact SmartScout filters I used to build a list of brands that were a perfect fit for wholesale. These are brands that aren't dominated by Amazon, have real sales volume, and most importantly are actually open to new sellers. I'll also show you how I reached out to these brands, how to handle rejections, and how I managed to stay organized throughout the whole process. Opening wholesale accounts is a numbers game, but with the right tools and mindset, anyone can break into wholesale. You're going to want to stick around to the end of this video, because I'm also going to give you a free brand outreach tracker to help you stay on top of every single brand you contact. Plus, I'll show you how to set up a simple website and a professional email, 2 things that made a very big difference in getting brands to actually respond. Let's dive in, and I'll show you exactly how I opened my first wholesale account on Amazon. I'm going to be using SmartScout to do my brand research today, and if you've already watched some of my videos, you already know that I use SmartScout on the daily for my online arbitrage business, but SmartScout is 100 times more powerful when you start dipping into the wholesale world. I will put the link to SmartScout in the description of this video. If you click on that link, it will take you to the SmartScout onboarding page, where the Flip Finder code will automatically be added to your checkout, and you can save 25% off your first 3 months. So once you do that and log in, you're going to see the SmartScout homepage. The tool we're going to be using today is the brands tool, and this is basically just a filter system for all of the brands on Amazon. And I got a few filters that I have found work really good for me. You're more than happy to tweak these and do as you please as far as that goes. But I'm going to show you the filters I use to open my first wholesale account. So the first thing we want to start with is a primary main category. And there's a couple ways you can do this. If you're already an Amazon seller and you have a niche or a particular category that you like to focus on, that's a really good place to start for wholesale, because you already understand a lot about the products and how they sell. If you don't, that's not a big deal. I'm just going to choose a random one today for this video. So let's do something odd off the wall. How about let's do industrial and scientific, right? That's a category not a lot of people really talk about online, at least, but very good category. A lot of B2B sales in the industrial and scientific category, which is really cool. Let's see. Next filter, we're going to look at our estimated monthly revenue, and this is one you can play around with. I found the best results, especially as a beginner wholesaler, to keep this on the low. So I did my minimum at 1,000 and I maxed it out at 50,000. So that's going to filter out any brand on Amazon that has an estimated monthly revenue across the entire brand of more than 50,000. And the reason I want to do that as a beginner is because as a new wholesaler, I probably don't have a really good chance of getting into bigger brands that sell hundreds and maybe even millions of dollars worth of products a month, because I just don't have the resources to be able to provide value to those brands. So focusing on those smaller brands is a really good kind of shortcut to opening a new wholesale account because you're focusing on smaller brands and you are a smaller seller yourself, so you can kind of relate to them and it just makes it a lot easier. So play around with these, but this is what I use to open my first couple accounts. Minimum 1,000 a month. Obviously, we want to see brands that are actually making some sales on Amazon. So if you left this at zero, you may come across brands that are only selling a couple $100 a month, which is probably a little bit too small for what we want to do. But cap it out at 50. Next one we're going to look at is average FBA sellers. And this one's really important because we want to find products that already have FBA sellers established. I did a minimum here of 2, and the reason I did 2 instead of 1 is because I want to weed out as many private label products as possible. There are still tons and tons of brands on Amazon who are the sellers of their own products. We don't want to waste our time reaching out to those. Not saying you can't get some deals with some of those brands, but as a new wholesaler, it's much easier to find brands that are already open to doing that. So putting a minimum here of 2, not touching the maximum on that. The next filter I'm going to do is a Amazon in-stock rate, and this one you can change to your preference. If you watch any of my videos, you know I do not like competing with Amazon. I already give them enough of my money. So I put a max here of 10%. I found if you put a maximum here of 0, you kind of weed out a ton of brands that Amazon may come on intermittently for a couple of days at a time at random times. And my guess is they're just probably finding stock that was lost from another seller or whatever the reason. They're not actively stocking these products. So putting that maximum at 10 really opens up a lot of new opportunities that you wouldn't see if you put that at 0. And that's all you need to start researching wholesale brands to sell on Amazon. So I'm going to click apply here and you'll see that we have a ton of results. We got 266 results here. And from here, we can just start going through these results one by one, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to look for and exactly which brands are going to be worth reaching out to. Once we have our list of potential brands, all I'm going to do here is start opening these brands up one by one on Amazon and look through the products that they have, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're looking for. So we can just click this little A right here, and that's going to open up this brand on Amazon. You're going to need a Chrome extension called DS Amazon Quick View. It's totally free. Go look it up on the Chrome store. It is this one right here, DS Amazon Quick View. And that's going to be this little gray box here. And that gives me some good information about a particular brand. And what I'm paying attention to here is the number of FBA sellers. Now, I have the paid extended version of DS Amazon Quick View. You do not need that to do this. The only difference between the two is I can actually look at the Keepa charts and the BSR and the price history with the extended version. That was super cheap. I think it was like 20 or 30 bucks one-time fee, but you do not have to do that to be able to see what we're looking at here. So opening up brands one by one, and something I noticed about this particular brand is I don't see any kind of niche here, which kind of tells me this is a brand I should probably avoid. This is probably a brand someone out there has created to do OA, and they are grouping a bunch of different branded products under the same brand. That's not what we're looking for wholesale. You can see all these products are totally different. They do have multiple FBA sellers, which is something we're looking for, but the brand itself is not represented very well, so I would completely avoid this one. So let's move on down the list here. Open up number 2. See if this one's any better. This one's a little better, so we can see that the brand does match and these products are definitely branded correctly. The next red flag we want to look for is the number of FBA sellers. We can see here there's only one FBA seller on both of these products, and I'll open one up and I'm probably going to guarantee you that is going to be the brand. So scroll over here. So sold by OptiSigns. This is an OptiSigns branded product. That lets me know that the brand is selling their own products on Amazon. And like I said earlier, that's not that doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot get a wholesale relationship with that brand. But as a new Amazon wholesale seller, probably not where you're going to want to start. It's going to be very hard to get in with those types of brands. So again, just clicking out, move on. This is kind of similar to OA sourcing, where you just got to go through the data, find good stuff, and don't get stuck on the stuff that doesn't work. So number 3 brand here, Alkanox. Never heard of this brand. Right off the bat, it looks like it could be potentially a good wholesale lead. We've got multiple FBA sellers here across multiple listings. This is definitely branded correctly. This is the right brand for these products. And I'm looking at some pretty happy keeper charts as well, which is just kind of something else we can look at too. So I'm going to open up this first one here. A lot of good things that I see on this listing. We can see Amazon's given us a 200 plus bought in the past month badge, so we know this brand has good sales volume. That's something we want to really focus on when we're deciding what brands to reach out for in the wholesale business, because wholesale works on a lot smaller margins than traditional online arbitrage or retail arbitrage, and focuses more on volume. So we've got good volume here. We've got multiple sellers. We can see here in Rev Seller, we've got multiple sellers and multiple FBA sellers. Really good first possible lead. Scroll down to the keeper chart here. This is an incredibly happy keeper chart. We've got some really good price stability, and this is a good example of why I included that 10% for Amazon in stock rate in my search. We can see Amazon has some presence on this listing, but it's very intermittent, and they also aren't taking the buy box when they are present. So I would not be concerned selling this product alongside of Amazon when they're on this product. Another really good reason to not set that filter to 0. We would not have seen this brand had we done that, and I think this is a really good first potential lead. So we want to open up a couple more products from this brand. I'm just going to focus on this one over here. Maybe it's got another 200 plus badge. So again, really focusing on the volume here. We've got good sales data. This is coming directly from Amazon, so we know it's true. Also have the Amazon Choice badge, which is always a plus to see. Same thing here, incredibly stable keeper chart. Offer count's nice and happy. This is a happy keeper chart. If you ever heard me say that in my videos before, this is a happy keeper chart. Same thing here, a little bit of Amazon presence, not something to worry about. I would definitely keep this brand in mind when I started reaching out to brands to open wholesale accounts. So I'm just going to keep these open, and we'll go through a couple more brands here in SmartScout, and then I will show you what to do with those brands once you find them. Let's move on down the list here, work on the next one in line. Rinse and repeat, we're just looking for multiple FBA sellers and good happy keeper charts. This one, I only see one product from this brand. It does look like it sells pretty well, so maybe we can open up and take a peek. But generally speaking, I'm not super interested in brands with just one single product. Now, they can be really good brands, but that's just not what I'm looking for. And I also see that possibly this is being sold by the brand themselves. So yeah, definitely want to stay away from this one. We can see on the keeper chart here, the brand, even though we have multiple offers, the brand is pretty much taking most of the buy box. So skip that one, keep moving down the list, see if we can maybe find one or two more, and I will show you what to do with them. Blue Monster, I have heard of this, and I actually looked like I've looked at this before. This one's only got one FBA. Okay, so we got multiple FBA sellers on a couple different listings here. So let's just open this first one just to see. It only has one seller, but it is not the brand. And we can see very good volume on this. Amazon is telling us at least 1,000 were bought last month. It looks like a fairly simple, easy prep product, which is also something to keep in mind. Not sure why Rev Seller is telling me there's only one offer. Oh, it's not. I thought it was, okay, so DS Amazon Quick View was telling me, it says 1 plus. I guess I missed the plus. Okay, I didn't know it would do that. I thought it would always say at least 2. So keep that in mind. If you see just the 1, but the plus behind it, that's not one to avoid. So multiple FBA sellers here. Really good. Another happy keeper chart. good price stability. Offers are kind of creeping up a little bit over the long term, but it looks like the price has held fairly stable. Definitely one to put on our list. A little bit of Amazon presence in the past, but not too much to worry about. Let's look at a couple other products from this brand, see if we can find something maybe a little bit better. Another really high volume listing, Amazon's Choice. Always stuff we're looking for. Really good, easy prep product, probably fairly light. Nice Happy Keeper charts. These are really, really good brands to start reaching out to. So I'm definitely going to leave that one on the list. Let's open maybe one. Try to find one more here. Case of 45, and this is something to think about when you're wholesale. B2B, which stands for business to business, is a really good relationship to build on Amazon because business customers typically buy a lot more and they also buy over and over and over again. Now you can do that with direct customer sales as well, but over the long term, a B2B relationship is going to be much more valuable than a direct to customer. So bulk stuff like this is a really good way to do that. 100 plus bulk, Amazon's telling us that. Incredibly happy, keep a chart. Definitely a winning product. It looks like buy box might be not rotating super great, but we can check our buy box statistics here just to see if we can get it to load. Buy box statistics, as long as it's not in the 90s, I wouldn't worry about it. So we've got some buy box spread here, and we can see a couple different people rotating through the last day. So maybe some sellers on this just aren't competitively priced. Yeah, so that's what's happening here. So we've got the majority of the sellers on this listing are not competitively priced. If we came in and were able to find this profitably at $142 sale price, we would definitely start taking buy box share on this. So that is not something to worry about. So definitely going to keep that one on the list as well. So we've got a couple products from a couple different brands, and it's important to find multiple products from a particular brand because when we start doing our outreach, we want to have those products on hand, and I'm going to show you exactly how to structure those outreach emails. I want to take a second to talk about something new that I've been working on in the background for Flip Finder, and I'm really excited to announce this. I've had a lot of newer sellers ask me about leads and if we sold leads and things like that, or even not even new sellers, just people that don't have time to source their own products. So I wanted to do something like that, but I wanted to make it a little different than the traditional leads list that you buy online. So I'm excited to announce the launch of Flip Finder Network Full Access. And this is a lot different than your typical leads list. So instead of getting emails every day of a list with 10 or however many, 10 or 12 leads on it, I'm actually giving you full access to our personal VA's lead sheet. And this is really cool because you can click into, you can see everything we see. So we've got a professional VA over 2 years sourcing for us. He finds really good stuff, averages 80 to 90 plus leads a month. And it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all of the above. And instead of cherry picking 10 leads to send you in a list, I'm showing you everything. I want you to see everything our VA finds and lets you go through this stuff. And I'm also here to sort through stuff and give you input on things. It's a really good sheet. He's got, I'm looking at it now, he's got 78 leads for this month in the sheet already. And today's the 24th, so probably end up another 90 plus lead month here, and I'm going to give you full access to that sheet unfiltered, and it's got all the information you need. It's got the source link, the ASIN, all the numbers, all the coupons, everything. So that is officially live on our website now. I will put the link to that in the description. And if you are a Flip Finder Network Discord member, there is a special coupon code in the Discord where you can get it for $50 off, which is awesome. So it's going to be $149 Regular price, if you are in the Discord channel, you will get that coupon code and you can get it for $100 a month. It's recurring payment. You get full access. If you sign up, you will get the back access to, so like let's say you signed up on the 25th of July, you will get access to the entire July sheet. So you will get a back feed of leads. Now some of them, the sales may be over, but a lot of them are still good and evergreen. So check that out. The link is in the description, and I am excited to launch this, and I hope everybody is successful, and I'm here to help you. Anything you need, let me know. Now that we've found a couple brands that we definitely want to reach out for, we need a good way to store this information, because over time we're going to hopefully have hundreds and hundreds of brands that we have reached out to. And I use Google Sheets to do that. If you want to make your own, that's totally fine. I made a template for you. The link is in the description of this video. This is what it looks like. It's very simple. It's just a way to keep leads organized for wholesale. It's only got a little bit of information on it. We've got brand, category, estimated monthly revenue, average sales price, average FBA sellers, SKUs of interest, and notes. And all of that information can be found on SmartScout. I've also got a second tab on the sheet for brands contacted. That's also very important. If you're making your own, you definitely want to add that to this sheet. And that's just a way for us to keep up with who we've contacted, when we contacted them, and how it went. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now let's add these first couple ones into our sheet here. The first one we did was Alkanox. So I'm going to come over here to the Alkanox, and I'm just going to copy this brand name here and post it in the sheet. Alkanox, our category for Alkanox is industrial and scientific. Same thing, copy and paste, and you can grab all this information from SmartScout as well. I'm just going to use RevSeller because it's a little faster for me. Monthly revenue, we're going to have to pull that from SmartScout. So let's scroll over here, and monthly revenue for Alkanox is 45,181.94. So really good opportunity there. 41. I should have just copied that because I can't even remember. 45,181.94. 45,181.94. 92, 90 something, doesn't matter, 94. Okay, cool. Average sales price, $92.33. That's a really good ASP. Really expensive products, which is great. That essentially should mean more money for us as well. Average FBA sellers, 2.5. Good there. We want to see at least a couple. And SKUs of interest. So we might have to do a little bit of digging to find these SKUs. Sometimes you can just look here on the product itself and kind of figure out what the SKU or model number is. We don't want to pull this information directly from Amazon. A lot of times you may have a UPC here or a model. If it matches, you can pull it. So it looks like this one, you can see here it says cat number 1104-1, and our model is 1104-1. So that looks like it matches, but sometimes the information on Amazon is not always up to date. So you want to verify that that is the correct model number before you just pull that information from Amazon. So let's add this one in as well, and I'm just going to go down a row and add the other one that we were looking for. So it looks like let's Google this one and just double check. And the easiest way to do it, if you can't find that information on Amazon, is to find the manufacturer's website. So Alkanox here, this is definitely the Liquinox product that we were looking at. It's a bigger jug, but looks like they have the little jugs as well. So we are looking for, what was this, a quart bottle? So let's go quart and catalog number. That's the number we're looking for here. So we're just going to copy paste this, and we're going to have these model numbers when we reach out to these brands. So copy paste there. Any notes on this product that you want to put, you can add here. I'm just going to leave this blank for now, but if you saw something, like maybe we could put some Amazon presence in the past, just notes for you personally. You don't have to put anything, but it's good to have a notes tab just for future reference. So let's do this Blue Monster one as well. And let's copy this brand and we'll stick it in the sheet as well. Blue Monster category here is going to be automotive. So this is interesting, and sometimes you will see this. You will have multiple different categories across a brand. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go back and open this brand up and see which one is the most prevalent. So I'm going to look at several different products here, see what the most common category is, and this one might not even work that way because this one's tools, home, and improvement. We've got one that's automotive, we've got industrial and scientific. Looks like we got a couple industrial and scientifics. Looks like 3 now. There's one for health and household. So it's kind of all over the board, and maybe that's something to put in our notes. But I've seen more industrial and scientific than anything, so I'm just going to use that for the sheet. But definitely going to add in our notes that that there's multiple different categories across this brand. Estimated monthly revenue on the Blue Monster here, 42, 115, 51. 42, 115, 51. Really good estimated monthly revenue. Average sales price on the Blue Monster, actually $211.56, which is awesome. So $211.56. Average FBA sellers here looking at 2.6. SKUs of interest, let's go back to the ones we looked at and see if we can find a model number maybe on the product itself. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. We may have to search this one as well. It looks like there's a model number here, but maybe this could be it. Let's just Google this and see if that's correct information. Always try to find the brand's website if you can. Looks like that might be a little tough here, but tell you what, let's just look for the brand itself, and here we go, brand Blue Monster, and then let's do a search for, let's do the Teflon tape first. Teflon tape, I can't spell, that's okay, nothing to show. All right, let's go products, and some of these brands, especially brands that don't sell products directly on their website, it can be kind of hard to navigate their website and find some of the information, but you just got to do a little digging. It's not the end of the world. Let's see, let's see if we can find this tape here. Sealing tape, that might be it. Let's take a look at these pictures. I think that's going to be it. But it looks like they might have multiple different ones. They got multiple different tapes. So I think this might be it here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so PTE. Yeah, that's going to be the one here. So let's open up this one and see if we can grab a model number somewhere. Let's see. Composition. Again, this is going to be really hard sometimes for brands that don't sell products directly on their website, but those brands are really good opportunities for us because people that want to buy their products have to go elsewhere. They don't sell them on their website, so really good demand. And also something to note here, we've got a sales rep tab. We might look into that a little bit later in this video. Okay, so yeah, we got a cat number here. Here we go. All right, we're looking for, how many is this? This is a case of 45. So let's see. Okay, here we go. We've got a package of 45. So this is going to be our model number here, 70885. I'm going to add that into our sheet. And then let's try to find the scrubbing towels on their website as well. Let's see, sealants. Let's go. Industrial towels, maybe. Let's see what they're calling it here on Amazon. Heavy duty citrus scrubbing towel. Okay. Industrial. Okay, here we go. Citrus scrubbing towels. That's going to be it. On Amazon, this is a single pack, I believe. Also, something to think about when you're doing this is this brand, for example, only sells these in a 20 pack, we can split that up and make it into singles, so that's nothing to worry about. So let's copy this cat number here, stick it in our sheet as well. Notes here, I'm going to put has products across multiple categories. And that's just a note for me to look back at and know what I kind of looked at when I seen this particular brand. So let me close a couple tabs out, and in the next section I'm going to show you exactly how to reach out to these brands and open your first wholesale account. Something I totally forgot to mention in the last section is you want to have a spot for the Amazon link. That way we can easily get back to that product page. I've added that into the template and went ahead and added that link for the products that we looked at. But before we start reaching out to brands, we need to have a sense of professionalism. And what I mean by that is we need to have a website and a professional email. But don't worry, it's super easy to set up. I'm going to show you exactly how to do everything. If you've been to our website, Flip Finder Network, you can see it's fairly simple. It's got a lot of stuff on it, but I built this all entirely myself using Weebly. I'll put a link to Weebly in the description of this video as well if you want to go check it out. It's super cheap. I think the domain costs about $20 a year, and to keep the hosting live is I think like 12 or 15 bucks a month, something like that. It's super cheap. You don't have to have something this kind of built out for wholesale. Just a super simple website, a home page, a contact page, and about us, just a little 3-page website. I'm going to show you the back end of Weebly just to show you how easy it really is to build a website with Weebly. So this is what it looks like on the Weebly platform. And we can see here, I can click into edit site. That's going to open up our web builder. Weebly makes it super easy. It's easy to customize. All of this stuff is drag and drop. So let's say I wanted to add another image. I would just click this, drag it where I want it, and drop it in. So if I put it right here, you can see now we've got an image, and then we would come in and upload that image. If you don't want it, click at X. Super easy website builder and very customizable. Like I said, I've built the entire Flip Finder Network website on Weebly. Always make sure you hit publish. If you want to add new pages, you can come over here and just click the plus here and add new pages. You can change your theme. A lot of stuff you can do here. There's tons of good YouTube videos on how to build websites. I'm not going to make this into a website building video, but if that's something that you are interested in, let me know in the comments if you need help with stuff like that. I can definitely make a video on that. But check out Weebly. Again, the link is in the description. Build you a really simple page for your business. Just a home page, and about us, and a contact us. Have some contact information on there. Talk to ChatGPT, get a couple cool pictures. Make it really simple, but having that online presence is extremely important in the wholesale industry. So step 1, build you a website. Step 2, we need a professional email, and I use Google Workspace for that. So a professional email is your name at your website. So instead of being at gmail.com, at yahoo.com, it will be at yourwebsite.com. So like, for example, mine could be Desmond at flipfindernetwork.com. This is really important when you start reaching out to brands, because that lets them know you are established. You're not just some new kid on the block that using a Gmail account to try to flip products. So use Google Workspace. It's super affordable too. I think it's 80 or 90 bucks a year. There's a couple different plans. You can get by on the lowest plan. That's what I have. I think it's 84 bucks actually. I'm pretty sure I just renewed it, but I'll put the link in the description for that one as well. Definitely a necessity. Very small investment, and you really got to have it. It really puts you over the edge when it comes to reaching out to brands, because you got to realize a lot of these brands are getting hundreds of emails a day, and you've got to really make yourself shine. And those are 2 really easy things that you can do that instantly puts you above the majority of other people that they are reaching out to. Now that we've got a couple brands picked out that we want to reach out for, I'm going to show you exactly how to reach out to those brands. But before I do that, I want to show you one more cool thing you can do in SmartScout. So I've got both of the brands that we picked out selected here, and I can add these to a custom segment, which allows me to save these brands so I don't have to go digging for them again. So you can just click on this, and you can see I did some research a couple weeks ago on some pet brands, but I'm going to make a new custom segment here, and we'll just name this Flip Finder Network. And so now we can click into our custom segments and open up this one we just saved, and now we got access to those brands that we just saved, and we can quickly get back to them without having to filter results. But we've got our brands picked out. We want to start reaching out to these brands. There's two really main paths that you can take to do that. One is going to be reaching out to the brand directly. The other is going to be reaching out to distributors that carry that brand of products. Both can be successful. Both are a little bit different, and sometimes you may even have to do one or the other. Some brands do not sell through distributors. Some brands only sell through distributors. Some brands do both. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research, but don't worry. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. All I'm doing here is copy and pasting this brand name into Google. We're going to start by trying to find this brand's website. You can see this one pops up pretty quickly. And a lot of times you can see up here at the top, there will be a locate dealers tab. Now, if we were going to try to reach out to a distributor, that is where we want to go. So we'll open that up. Also in the About Us, or if they have a contact page, sometimes you can get their information. So this would be their phone number and email, both of which are good places to start. We can send them an email from our professional Google Workspace email. Don't worry, I've got a script for you if you don't know what to say. I'm actually adding this wholesale beginner guide to the Flip Finder Network website. Once I upload this video, it will be there. I'll put the link in the description. This is totally free, and it's just kind of a paper version of what I'm talking about in this video. It goes through all the steps that we've already gone through, and I've got a really nice, super simple template that you can email brands. All you got to do is fill in your business name, the brand that you're reaching out to's name, your business name, and we want to include the SKUs that we found and also the number of units. Now, the number of units is really important because that shows these brands' intent. We're not just emailing them, asking them to basically, we're not saying we just want to buy and sell your products. We're saying we've established two products that we are interested in, and we know exactly how many we want to buy. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to come up with that number a little bit later in this video, but if you want that template, click on that link in the description and you can download this completely free guide. If you want to make your own, keep it super simple. Talk to ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT every day. It's a really good kind of business partner, so to speak, and it can help you with a lot of stuff, but keep it really simple. I always make it clear that I am on Amazon because I want to be upfront with these brands. Now, that's a double-edged sword. A lot of brands are going to instantly say, we do not work with Amazon sellers. That's okay. When you start reaching out to brands, you really got to get some thick skin. You're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of pushback. You're going to get a lot of, we don't work with Amazon sellers. And that's totally fine. Do not give up on those brands because a lot of the best opportunities are going to start that way. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in the Google Sheet that the template that I made. But copy paste this right here and let's go back to our website. So we would basically just send them an email at this email on their website. If you're a phone caller, you can also do phone calls. Phone calls are a really good way to set yourself aside from the hundreds of emails that these brands are probably getting every day. So that could be a better way if you are good on the phone. Doing phone calls is a little bit of a learning curve, especially if you're not comfortable talking to people on the phone that you don't know. I've already built that kind of skill set from prior business, so I'm very good on the phone with people, so I like to call them. But if that's not something you want to do, I would definitely encourage you to at least try it and start to work to build that skill, because it is very helpful in the wholesale business. But if you don't want to do that right now, totally cool. Send them an email, copy paste that template. We're going to add our SKUs here. And then let's talk about how many units we want to buy. So let's open up these Amazon links again. And this is going to depend a lot on your budget. And that's something I haven't really talked about in this video yet. But when you are starting wholesale, you're going to need a little bit of a bigger budget than you would typically need for online arbitrage or retail arbitrage. You see a lot of retail arbitrage videos talking about starting with $100 or $500. And that's not really going to work with the wholesale side of things, because again, we are focusing on volume. Our margins are going to be a lot thinner, but we're pushing a lot more units per month, which also means you're going to be spending a lot more money on inventory per month. I would recommend you have at least $5,000 liquid cash to spend, and I would also say don't drop that entire $5,000 on your first order, because if you know how Amazon works, it's going to take some time to get the ball rolling. If you've got more than $5,000, that's even better. I would think 10 is probably a really good sweet spot to start, but you could definitely get by with 5. So the number of units that you're interested in buying is going to rely a lot on your budget. It's also going to rely a lot on the product. So we picked out 2 really fast moving products here. We can take a peek into the Keep a Chart here, into data and offers, and kind of get an idea of how many units are being sold per month. Amazon's telling us, excuse me, at least 200. So just knowing that information, I would be comfortable probably buying at least 40 or 50 units of this product. That should get you at least 6, maybe 8 weeks of inventory. Hopefully less, but long term, probably 6 to 8 weeks, being a newer seller on this listing. So look at the data, treat it just like you would an OA lead. Figure out how many you think you can sell and come up with a really good first order that's going to get you by at least a month of inventory. You don't want to be reaching out to these wholesale brands saying, hey, I'd like to buy 10 of these, because again, these people work on volume. 10 is not enough for them to even view your email. They want to sell thousands a month. And it's okay if you can't do that at first, but you want that order to really be enough to make it worth their time. So treat it just like you would OA, but focus on those high volume listings where you can move 50, 100, 200, even 300 or 400 units a month. That way you can quickly build that relationship with these brands. So that's step 1. That's if you're going direct to the brand. That's how you would do that. You're going to reach out to them via phone number or email. If you want to go the distributor route, which sometimes you have to, so you may email this brand and they may tell you, we don't sell directly to Amazon sellers, go through a distributor, and that's cool too. A lot of pages have a locate dealers thing on their website, so you can see all the dealers that they have in North America or United States, I guess. Some companies are international, so if you're not in the U.S., don't be discouraged. But find your local dealer. See who is closest to you. Reach out to that. They usually have those companies listed here. Reach out to those people the same way we just did for the brand. Call them on the phone, email them, tell them what you want to do. You're going to have to structure that email slightly different because you are reaching out to a different company that probably carries multiple brands. So I will also have a template for that email in the sheet, or excuse me, in that guide on our website. And it's going to be really similar. Basically, you're going to just tell them that this is your business. The intro is the same. This is my business. This is who I am. And you're going to say, I'm interested in becoming a authorized dealer, or you're going to say, I would like to purchase these products from you for resale. But again, I will have a template for that in the guide as well. Now that we've contacted our first brand, it's time to put that information in our sheet so we can keep up with who we've talked to and when and how it went. So we can come back to our template here and go to the brands contacted sheet, and we'll just fill this out. Let's see, today is the 24th. Brand name, Alkanox. I think I spelled that right. Website, just copy and pasting from their website here. Contact name, I don't have that because they haven't sent me an email back, but once you get the email back, you can record who you talk to and their email and their phone number if they have one. I'm just going to pull this information from their website for now. And the phone number, contacted, and I'm going to put email. If you call them on the phone, put phone there. Response, yes or no. They haven't emailed me back yet, so we're going to leave that blank, but when they do, we would put yes. Next follow-up date. This is important, especially for the no's, which, as I said earlier, you're going to get a ton of no's. That's normal. Don't get discouraged. If you get some pushback from a brand, there's a couple things you can do depending on what they say. So if they are hard no, we do not work with Amazon sellers, we're not interested in that, or if they tell you we're not currently offering any more sellers, totally fine. Send them a reply. Thanks. We'll keep in touch. Just a nice, simple, just okay. And write down the follow-up date 3 months from today. So that would be October. So we're going to keep this in our sheet so we know 3 months from now when this date pops up, we're going to send that same exact email to the brand again. We might add a little bit in the beginning saying, hey, I reached out 3 months ago, just seeing if anything's changed. Just a reminder, these are the products or the SKUs that I'm interested in. Is there any opportunity now? And that's super important because the squeaky wheel gets the grease, okay? Keep reaching out to those brands that say no, and I promise you eventually one of them will say yes, and that'll probably be the best account that you have. SKUs of interest, we're just going to copy those directly over from the other tab. And notes, any notes, and this note section is for notes about the outreach. So if they come back and said we do not accept Amazon sellers, I would put that in the notes. So no Amazon sellers. Just write your little notes about the conversation you had with whoever you had it, because it's important to have that information to come back to when you reach back out into the future. Now, I want to show you one more really cool thing that you can do to kind of set yourself aside from the hundreds of other people that are contacting these brands. And this is using SmartScout, and this is so cool. When you're reaching out to brands directly, you have to offer some sort of value. You do not just want to be a flipper. You're not just trying to buy and sell these products. You want to show that you have value and provide value to the brand itself. And a really cool, easy way to do that is to offer to improve the listings on Amazon, and SmartScout makes that super easy. I'm going to pull a listing right here, and these are actually pretty decent listings. They could use some improvement. There's only a couple pictures here, and the information is very basic. There's not a lot of good bullet points here. It's all just simple information. This is a good example of a listing that could easily be improved, excuse me. So back into SmartScout, we're going to scroll down to the AI listing architect. And let's see here. And you see I made some videos earlier this couple weeks ago on some stuff. So I've already got a couple in here, but I'm going to create a new one right here just to show you how easy this is. We're going to build from an existing listing. Now we want to take this ASIN and post it right here, copy paste in here. Click OK, and it's going to get to work. So here's our description. I'm just going to click next. We could update that. It's going to go through and choose your competitor's closest competitor's product. I don't really see a whole lot here that is similar to this. Detergent cleaning. This is kind of an industrial detergent. So these all look kind of regular. Let's see if we can. Let's go back here and let's just put this in and see if we can find something else similar. Okay, so this looks pretty similar. I'm not sure what this is, but we're going to grab the ASIN of this competitor product and post it here into SmartScout. SmartScout is going to go through and it's going to improve this listing, and this is a super cool screenshot that you can provide to those brands that shows the keywords, the search volume, the relevancy, and how many times it uses it. So really cool stuff. You see it updated our title a little bit here. You want to double check this is AI. You've got to double check this stuff. So you can see here it added by ProChem, and that's definitely not the Alkanox brand. So we're going to want to take that off. It also says it's pet friendly, so you would have to verify that it is. So just double check anytime you use AI. You can't just copy paste. You've got to read what it's doing, make sure it's saying the right stuff. But look at these bullet points. So we came from some very simple listings. I have to back up here. I clicked out of that Alkanox one. So in our original listing here, look at how much information was here. Very little. So we just got a couple bullet points, and they're really not very useful to a consumer. It just shows us the package dimensions, which the consumer really doesn't care about. But look at the SmartScout bullets that it's created. So powerful cleaning formula. Alkanox detergent cleaning concentrate. Effectively, these are like professional bullet points, and that's a really easy way you can offer some value to these brands. And what I would do here is I would just copy and paste all of these and kind of make my own listing in like a Word document and show the old listing compared to the new listing and show the improvement that you have made. And then I like to include this little keyword screenshot because it just looks really professional. I like it. It shows the search volume. It shows how many times you've used that keyword. And it's a really cool, just really easy way to add some value to a brand. So super simple, easy stuff coming out of SmartScout. Again, the link for that is in the description. You can get a 25% discount on your first 3 months if you use the Flip Finder code, which automatically goes to your cart when you click on the link in the description. If you follow these steps, I can guarantee you will be successful in landing your first wholesale account. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I've been working on this for about 6 months in the background, but I think if I put my full energy into it, I definitely could have opened an account probably in the first 30 days. So it's really important to remember that wholesale is a relationship business. It takes time to build those relationships, but they're worth it. So don't get discouraged. You're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of pushback, and I'm going to continue making some videos about wholesale in the future. So if that's something you want to see, like this video, give us a subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. One last thing before I go, if you are interested in getting into wholesale and you want more information, SmartScout actually has a wholesale course. I will put the link to that in the description as well. It's really drawn out course, and SmartScout's got some really smart people. They are deep into the wholesale world. They've been doing it for years and years, sold probably hundreds of millions of dollars worth of products. So you're getting taught by the people that know how to teach it. So check it out. See you on the next one.